Hello, this is Pastor Frank King. I want to talk with you a few minutes about the importance of embracing your divine purpose. When I talk about divine purpose, I'm talking about God's purpose for our life. According to the Bible, He had a plan for us before the world began. I find that point to be so fascinating because God gives each of us freedom of choice. And because of that, we will undoubtedly do things that are counter to the will of God for us. But in spite of the misguided things we do, God knows how to make His purpose for us ultimately prevail. I believe many people today live with no real sense of purpose for their life. If someone believes that to be the case for his life, he will live accordingly. That's why it's important to know that you are a person of a higher calling. We weren't put here simply to go through life aimlessly and then die. Here is what Paul the Apostle says about that in his second letter to Timothy. Who has saved us and called us with an holy calling, not according to our works, but according to His own purpose and grace, which was given us in Christ Jesus before the world began. What Paul writes in that verse is true about every bona fide believer in Christ. Take myself for example. I never intended to be a preacher. I had absolutely no aspiration to be one. I lived right next door to a Pentecostal preacher in my youth. He was a godly man, and I didn't even take it to heart. I used to have these parties in my backyard, loud music and drinking right next to the house of a man of God. He never complained. Little did I know it was in the heart of God for me to become a preacher as well. Perhaps you are familiar with the popular book, The Purpose-Driven Life, written by Pastor Rick Warren a number of years ago. A central point of the book is to know your purpose and to allow your life to be driven by that purpose. So God has a divine purpose for our life. The question is your life being purpose-driven? Let me tell you why some believers are going nowhere fast. They are all over the place, going after every invitation they receive from life. But when your life is purpose-driven, you eliminate those things that don't align with your purpose. Some believers are in a place that they have no place being, but it's because they don't live their life with a sense of divine purpose. They tend to jump on every bandwagon that comes their way. Listen, friend, that's not God's plan for your life. The whole premise of this message is that God has a better plan for your life than you do. A better plan for my life than I do. And God's favor and blessings upon our life are greatest when our life fits His plan. That is so important to remember. God's favor and blessings upon our life are greatest when our life fits His plan. That's what I mean by embracing your divine purpose. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you in this video, and I hope that you were blessed during our time together. Until next time, this is Pastor Frank King saying, may heaven's best be yours.